Greetings, welcome to ShadowStar for this Star Trek Online Starship Stats Review. Before we go any further, because of what's been going on right now, I simply have to put this first. I apologise. I try to keep my personal life out of this stuff because this is supposed to be my escape. Well, it's happening. I have to deal with it. So I'm sorry. I know this review is late. I've only just managed to get enough EC to get my hands on this ship. I've been having a lot of health issues that has kept me out of work and not in a great state of mind. So what I'm going to say is not in a great place. So honestly guys, if you're willing to hit the like button, share this video, comment, I will really appreciate it right now. But this is my first, unfortunately to say, 2K rendered, 4K recorded Render Scale 2. Yeah. Star Trek Online Stats Review for Starship. What better ship to do it with, I guess? The Shrike Intel Juggernaut, a ship that I have on loan. This is on the Tribble test server. I have literally gotten my hands on this ship and then immediately had to sell it in the exchange. So I'm going to be very upset if it turns out I really like this ship. Guess what, guys? Without further ado, because this is a very long introduction, and this is part of my new style of review. We are reviewing this ship at its T6-X2 upgrade level, and this detailed review will let you know exactly what the ship is capable of. Oh, sorry, I'm not able to keep up with Ri'shad, so you gotta deal with Ri'shad. There's an hour down the drain. Sorry guys. Let's look at these lovely stats. Now, we have a tier 6 ship. My one in question is actually T6-X2. Available to any faction, so long as you are lucky enough to have gotten this from a promo box, or check it out for the exchange at the moment. There are a couple selling in the exchange for a reasonable price. So, that is the literal only reason I have my hands on this ship right now. So, don't count on the Borg simulator. This is a tier 6 ship with a hull modifier of 1.5 belay, distressing shield modifier of 0.9. 5 forward and 3 aft weapons. She has 4 device slots, a base turn rate of 8.5 for Juggernaut, that ain't bad. Impulse modifier of 0.16 and an inertia rating of 50. With a absolutely pleasant plus 20 to weapon power and the ability to equip dual cannons. This Intel ship has the Gather Intel Starship mechanics, the Juggernaut array, or should I say the Shrike Juggernaut array, more on that in a bit, as well as the Juggernaut Mastery package, giving you a benefit to critical chance, critical severity, hull regeneration, all damage, and a trait. Well, we'll get into that when we get into that. For those really curious, the Admiralty stats are Engineering 39, Science 32, Tactical 55. The Special is a 4 times critical rating from Tactical. Now, what did I avoid there? The make or breaks. Because it doesn't matter what the stats are other than these are the stats that always make or break a ship. bridge officers and consuls. We'll start off with the consuls. It is a 5-4-2. 5 tactical, 4 engineering, 2 science. X upgrade this and you're getting nice number of isomags. Looking at 6 maximum. And I guess you can go for 7 tactical consoles, bearing in mind one will most likely be the local custom fire control. So 6 of your advanced tacs if you really want to. Now, sounds great in my personal opinion. Either way, this leads to the ship having some great advantages. It just seems that this ship is vulnerable in the science side of things, and then it gets ridiculously vulnerable in that side of things. So, guess what? Not a support ship. Well, for the most part. This really comes down to the breaking point when we look at the bridge officers. It has a Universal Ensign, a Lieutenant Commander Universal, a Lieutenant Science, a Lieutenant Commander Engineering with Miracle Worker, there you go, energy builds and mixed synergy, and Commander Tactical with Intel. Surgical Strikes, anyone? Right, now because of what I've got here, I've not been able to do any serious DPS runs myself because I'm on the test server. But I have done some nice little checks for you guys, and I will give away right now. As far as DPS goes, yeah, this ship is dangerous. With a surgical strike scoring coming up just as well as its ability for cannon scatter volley, beam overload, and beam fire at will, this ship is absolutely devastating when it comes to DPS. We always knew it was going to be a DPS Titan. I was underestimating it. It turns out it's even stronger than I expected. It can be a bit of a glass cannon, depending on the way you've built it. But at the major side of things, this ship is a direct energy weapons monster. Absolute monster. Mixed armament synergy works bleeding well on this ship. And surgical strikes, wow, absolutely cannot give this ship enough credit in this side of things. Literally, where support wise I'm going to score this ship, as I do, 4 out of 10. DPS wise I'm going to score this ship 9 out of 10. So the last one comes into it is tanking. Now what does this ship tank? Well, obviously said it's got a little bit of a letdown on shields, 0.9. The shield modifier is a bit of a disaster zone. And we've had the ability to upgrade the ship and only have 4 science consoles maximum. This ship is not one you're going to be shield tanking with, which is okay because shield tanking is a bit of a niche. The problem is, hybrid tanking is also a little bit difficult in this ship. I would definitely not advise hybrid tank. But, you want to go full on fortification and endurance, whole tank this ship through? Well, from what I've been seeing for scores of that, she's queen of the crop. Calling her the Shrike was quite fitting. I wonder if River noticed that. I mean, my one's called Harrier, but, well, I wanted to keep up the bird motif. Which is kind of funny considering this ship looks a bit Beetle-like. Which is kind of funny when you consider the changelings. Well, honestly, I can't do this ship any more credit than I have just done. Straight up, as far as stats go, this ship, I can't stop singing its praises. Yeah, it's poor in support. Hey, she can support DPS bloody well, so at least she's got something in support. But that's why I gave her 4 out of 10. And not less. Tanking, 7.5 out of 10. DPS more than saves for it. The only problem is this is a very expensive ship that is part of a gambling lockbox, and as such I cannot condone the atypical pricing of this. I mean, people give Bethesda crap. Yeah. Okay. Don't play Star Trek Online. So, let's seek out some more positives, shall we? Here's a couple for you. Game looks a little bit weird when you got it in 4K. Let's have some more fun. Since I have rarely done this. Can't even type at the moment. Woohoo! Knock up to rent scale 2 for this. Why not? Hello, Shrike. As you can tell, what you were just seeing in demo record, that was the Shrike with the Discovery Vanity Shield on it. Here's mine at the moment. Removed most of the colour off. You can see the atypical whole colour is the light colour. The darker colour is, well, a bit of a grey added to it, and the gold is on the others. This is using the Andromeda skin. If you was to use the Shrike pattern, the bits that are currently lighter grey would be coloured gold for me right now. Give you an idea. Kind of like the Lust Arena's paint job worked. Which is funny because I might as well bring up the Lust Arena and that even more now. This whole ship is like the Lust Arena for customization. Doesn't have a custom bridge. Only has the Shrike windows. It has its own special pattern like the Lust Arena does. But then it also has the standard patterns. And it only has its one standard hull type. Customization totally covered, which is good. When you consider what the ship is supposed to look like, oh dear, I've not made this any easier for myself, have I? Yoink. Whee! We'll quickly bring this over here. Bring this up. And I can say hello to you guys. With that. That's how she's supposed to look. Seriously, 1080p, that's the best you're doing. Mind you, I've only just gone above 1080p, so I can't really talk. But yep, this would be the Shrike's atypical look. We've all seen this video, I hope. Honestly, not entirely fond of it, so I am glad that they thought ahead for us and gave us the ability to basically really alter its colour up. Now, this isn't what I'm trying to focus on right now. I'm just losing track of myself. Can you tell my mind's not in it? Hey, we have here a ship that is technically both a Dominion ship, but apparently maybe Lefian? Why do I say that? Well, hello there, overflow bag, get out of the way. The weapons you get with this ship is the Lefian cannons. So that is the first thing that jumped in my mind. I was like, oh, armed with disruptors. So is this Juggernaut array a disruptor weapon? Well, no. In fact, this is one of the first weaknesses we're going to bring up, is the Juggernaut array itself. It is Polaron. Pretty powerful Polaron, but it is Polaron, and as a result, well, suffers from what you'd expect from a Polaron weapon. Looks pretty nice though, so give you a little idea. Flying close to these guys, and we'll say hello, shall we? Bye bye. Look at that explode. Looks really pretty. Wow, that's the limit of it. Shut, guys, no one cares. Keep on, Satans. Hello. Sweet. There you go, got that dealt with. We all good now? We all pretty? We can sit still. She's a pretty ship. Here, she can feel a bit more Dominion. We're dumb. There you go. Now she's very Dominion-y. That is almost an insult. Update the texture pack, please. Anyhow, what was I saying? Looks great, but the Shrike Juggernaut array is a Polar 1 weapon. Now, it does deal nearly 25,000 Polar 1 damage to the target foe and up to 42,500 Polar 1 damage to foes within a 4-kilometer radius, with it reaching its absolute maximum strength the closer they are to the edge. So really, you want your enemies to be 4 kilometers away from your main target rather than grouped in. And that's an awkward part, because, well, we know gravity well. That's going to get everyone right on top of each other, and we're used to using abilities that get all our enemies grouped up. But this one wants them to be a little bit spaced, and I ain't happy with that. But it is still effective, and it will do sizable damage anyway. You're at least getting 25,000 Polar 1 damage to multiple targets if they're within the 4 kilometers. There is no maximum number of targets it will affect. That is a benefit. At least no maximum that I've been able to see. I've not been able to hit a maximum. It's all good. So, on to some other positives, maybe? Well, we'll talk about the console now. Console, universal, portal weapon. Oh, this gave the USS Titan a run for its money, didn't it? Its passives are plus 25.6 to all damage and plus 17.1 to hull capacity. An absolutely brilliant console for both DPS and tank, but especially for tank. The portal weapon will link your location to the target ships, creating a pair of portals for 45 seconds. One in front of you, one in front of the enemy vessel. So no, you're not going to be pulling what they did in Star Trek Picard. You ain't going to be throwing one up in front of you and then having one thrown up literally to the side of them. So as they shoot at you, they hit the portal that's in front of you and then they shoot themselves in the side. Not quite. They can actually hit you by the portal, which is basically the portal not being the portal. Not doing its job. It's supposed to be reflecting weapon fire back at it. Yeah, okay. I've never really seen this. Everything I've seen of this portal has disappointed me. You can fly through the portal if you want. Warp yourself to a different location. It's a good way to jump distance really quick. So if the enemy's quite far away from you, you can shoot up a portal and jump through it to be right on top of them in seconds. That works good. But I'll say that's really the limit of how good the portal is, in my personal opinion. Most attacks and ships can pass through the portal, allowing weapons to exceed their normal range. Yeah. So, I get what they've gone for. It lets you attack enemies that are outside of your range of fire. Great! So you don't have to rush up on them. Kind of defeats the object of how fast this ship can be, but you don't have to rush up on enemies. You can forward focus your weaponry and just blast through the portal and just absolutely bombard. The only problem is, the enemy can do that to you too. Because they can fire back through the portal, shoot it back at you. You're increasing their range. Which means this is useful to a tank, not so useful to a DPS. Not unless the DPS is a tank that is definitely holding the threat. And when you've got the most range, you're going to start generating threats way before the tank is. Result being, I am not fond of the portal weapon. I'm not going to score it. I'm just not fond of it. Okay? Hope you hear me out on that one. The trait. Eclectic collector of armaments. Bonus per type of attack used. Using different kinds of attack, each will grant 10% bonus damage, and 10% faster recharge of Starship Captain innate weapons for 30 seconds. So, sorry, capital ship innate weapons. So, what does this mean? Well, with this trait slotted, if your ship has a lance, if it has a phaser locus, the Chimera, I forgot the name of it, but powerful disruptor cannon that's on the Klingon version of the Chimera. Any weapons like that. You've got a capital ship weapon, it will recharge 10% quicker. That's great for 30 seconds. Awesome. Great. The bonus 10% to your bonus damage, that's great. Because it's per weapon type used. Now, this ship itself, like I stated before, can use mixed armament synergies. Mixed armament synergies is basically what this trait is. So this is the mixed armament synergy trait, and now we have mixed armament synergies. Now, if you're also using traits that will, generally speaking, boost direct energy damage or energy weapon damage, then using energy kinetic energy torpedoes with the same type of energy cannon and same type of energy phaser, you can really start to stack up damage with this. So this trait has the potential to be the exact opposite of the console and be really good. Especially if you consider every universal console is going to set this trait off. Every different weapon type you got out, every capital ship weapon, every experimental weapon. So if the ship doesn't have a capital ship weapon, at least you've got experimental. You can almost guarantee 4, if not 5. So that is bonus 50%. And you can keep that up. It is possible to keep that going. There is a brief cooldown. Honestly, this trait is getting 8 out of 10 for me. It is a trait that I'm going to end up. What do I mean going to end up? I am going to consistently recommend. If you don't like using mixed armament synergies and you don't like using a whole different type of weapons, not such a big deal. But as you can see on this ship of mine right now, I have a cannon, so that's going to trigger it. I have beams, that's going to trigger it. I have a torpedo, that's going to trigger it. I've already got 30. I use universal consoles, I'm up to 40. This ship has the innate Juggernaut, so I've got 50. Now, if you can think of a ship that also has an experimental and an innate weapon, well, that's 60%. If you can think of one that is also a miracle worker ship with mixed armament synergies, and there you go, you're blowing it through the roof. Honestly, no, I'm taking it back. This is a 9 out of 10 trait. If you haven't got the trait, get your hands on it. I am so sad I'm not going to have this shit. I really want this shit. Can't keep it though. Can't afford it. So, from here, I guess I should show you what this ship can do. I always try to show the ship in action. I may not be showing you a DPS log this time, but I can at least show you why I love this ship. So let's go do it. And I think we'll do it with my personal favourite, Nightfall. When I'm in the right zone to do it.
But it's too and how careless we
Yeah.
be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us, like a good drug, never run off.
We'd hook up in my car, drive it so far, play your guitar, you'd show me your art, let down our guards, think with our hearts, stare at the stars, we were never apart, drinking too young, way too much fun, out in the sun, open when it's gone, took you to prom, dance to our song, dance all night long till the lights come on.
It's too late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. Nights, long fights, it felt right, we were alive. We would go out, we were so loud, we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious.
We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side, finally alive. We would just drive, never arrive, our journey was live, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old, screw what we're told, we can't be controlled.
It's too late now, I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be.
And just like that, it's over. Won't be flying this girl for a while, I believe. Maybe I'll get lucky enough to be able to get her next year. Maybe if they do the free ship event again. Because, well, certainly knows, well, you gotta make use of those events. But no. in case it isn't clear, yes, I am disappointed that I don't have this ship. Yes, I am disappointed I can't keep this ship. So, yes, I do recommend this ship, and I do think it's a great ship. She's expensive to get though. If you're gambling, you could easily pass the £100, 200, 300 and still not get her. It's a strain, it's a stress. I wish it wasn't the way of things, but it's the world we live in. And that's why my mental health is so busted. But this ship, it's given me a little bit of joy. I guess I'll say thank you for that then, Star Trek Online. Though still, I feel like you could have done that console way better. It's a nice idea. Great idea, poorly executed. That's the way I'm going to put it. My final score on this ship is 8 out of 10. Bearing in mind I demote marks for ships that are lockbox or promo, but any ship that is a gamble to get your hands on, or is going to cost you more than 50 quid. The moment it costs you more than 50 quid, that's it. It gets a demerit mark. So like I like to say, each ship can barely count itself as DLC. How much do you pay for DLC? Because that's my argument. People blasted a certain... God, I could really pick on some of the ones I don't like, because there are lots of bad ones. But I'm going to go with one of the companies I really like, Bethesda. They got blasted for their Creation Club and putting out something at £15, nearly the price of DLC. Bear in mind this DLC came out years ago. Well, I would say with inflation, it was very well priced because it was a nostalgia trip. It was a lot of extra content, a good set of hours. And it gave you a lot. It didn't just give you one thing, it gave you a lot. And that just, it brought a tear to my eye. 15 quid, fuck yeah, I'll spend that. Anytime. And you can tell I'll spend that because Star Trek Online, every time you release a Zen-Store ship, I don't care when you release it, I will get it because it is £20. To me, that's DLC pricing, that is perfect. Fuck, I would actually even spend up to 50 quid. As I've obviously given away when I say anything above 50 quid is when I start to demote marks. So yeah, I really like this ship. I'm probably going to try and get my hands on this ship again so I can do a re-review of it, because I'm not in the best of mind frame right now. My mental well-being is screwed, so please, everything I've said, take it with a pinch of salt. I would love to hear in the comment section what you guys think. And like I said before, a massive thank you to anyone who's hit that like button, anyone that shared this video. It's just, this content is the only thing keeping me going. And on that note, a sincere, huge thank you to the YouTube members and patrons that are on screen right now. Patreons, I have set up the Patreon store now. At the moment, it's just digital downloads for screenshots. Each month I'm going to do a new month's worth of screenshots from videos I've done in that month. At the moment I'm sticking to Star Trek Online, but I will add others to it. If you are a Patreon, go to Patreon right now. So long as you are at the tier 2 rank or above, go to the store and you will be able to download it free. Get every single one of my screenshots for free, and you're welcome to use them however you like. Your own content, wallpaper, do what you want with them. Now, if you'd like to know what the screenshots are, well, screenshot videos are going up now as well. Should be linked in the end of this one. Thank you for watching, guys. Till next time, please stay safe and take care of yourselves. Live long and prosper, my friends.